This is take 100,000,007 of this anxiety. So I made an episode of me talking about my anxiety last week because I was really struggling with it. And it was great. It had a lot of good information in it. Then I realized that the audio was horrible. So I started today to make another one, and I've had nothing but problems because I forgot to put in, like just lots of tech problems. I won't go over it. So I'm going to try again. Here we go. So I wanted to talk about anxiety. And the reason I want to talk about anxiety is because I suffer with it on a somewhat regular basis, much less now than I did before. But I do have some specific tools that I use that really help me move through it. And I'm really proud of myself for finding a way to cope that works for me. And you can take these 5 or 6 little things that I tell you and throw them out the window, or you can use what works for you, forget the rest. But I will say these are the things that work for me. First thing I wanted to say was that anxiety is so frustrating because last week I had tons of anxiety and I had no reason to have anxiety. This week I feel great and I'm happy and I'm excited about the future and I'm excited about seeing, I'm like my normal self, but there's no difference. And so it comes on sometimes at times where it's just like, why? It's so frustrating. Like, why is it back right now? But the fact is that's how my brain is, and that's how my brain works sometimes. And I have learned to deal with it. I didn't know what it was when I was younger, but I've dealt with it for 53 years, I think. And now I have an understanding of what it is, and I have an understanding of how to cope with it. So here goes. I think the first step in dealing with anxiety is recognizing it, because a lot of times I'll walk through and like I'm trying to power through my day and everything just feels like red lights and so frustrating. And I'll realize, oh, I have a fair amount of anxiety right now. And so checking in with myself and letting that resonate that I'm actually going through that, because it is different than having a day with, oh, I'm hitting all red lights, or like today my tech wasn't working. Okay, well, that doesn't mean I have anxiety. It just means my tech's not working. Like there's a big outage with the internet right now. So that doesn't have anything to do with my anxiety. It's just like the facts of life. Life is going to be happening. And I feel like those are two very different things. Like life is like there's struggles or there's days that are hard or unfortunate coincidences that happen that trip you up during your days, versus like I have anxiety and everything's going right, but I just feel like electricity pulsing through me and like so much tension in my shoulders and head and neck. So that's my first thing, recognizing, be like, okay, here we are. What are we going to do? My second thing will be to ask myself why. Is there something going on that is a reason for it? It might not be anything you can change. It might not be anything that you want to change, but there might be a reason. And so somehow that reason can make things better. Recently, well, when I say recently, over the last 6 months, we've had a lot of sadness with one of our kids who has sort of distanced herself from us. And it is an ongoing, it kind of turns up my mom anxiety to a certain level. And I think there's nothing I can do about it. Overthinking has not helped because I've done plenty of that. And there's not really any answer for it right now. It just sort of is what it is right now. It's nothing that I can fix. It's nothing, I don't feel like that we did wrong. It's just something that this person is going through. And we are pledging to support them through it, but also we need to take care of ourselves as well. So being able to anchor in like this might have something to do with it, and no, there's nothing I can do except for acknowledge it and maybe say, okay, yeah, I need to do some self-care. I need to take care of myself. And I don't mean bubble baths. I mean, I need to sit back and maybe take a few things off my plate, maybe reach out to people that I can share with that have kind words to say to me. It's just important to recognize, okay, maybe that's why. And then another thing for me, and if you're a mom, you might relate to this, is anytime something's going wrong with one kid, then I end up like worrying about the other four. It's like everything kind of gets heightened for all the kids. And my worrying part of my brain really gets turned on and activated. I'm looking out for things to worry about. When actually, like, the second grader's doing great. The 23-year-old's doing awesome. He just moved into a house with a bunch of boys and he's excited about it. My 19-year-old's just finished her first year of college. Like, everything's going good. So I can tell myself, okay, that's what it is. Just knowing that somehow makes me feel better. I like to set the bar as low as possible. Here's why. Because when I am truly, truly struggling with anxiety, it's really hard to even get out of bed or get off the couch. It could be your bed, could be your couch, could be in front of the TV, whatever it is. it's paralyzing in a lot of ways. And so I set the bar as low as possible and just say, get up. All you have to do is stand up. And then after I stand up, then I do 3 normal things. Those 3 things could be nourish your body, brush your teeth, brush your hair, make the bed. I like to, first thing is like, I'm going to make my bed because at least it's like a vote for the day going well. So make the bed, go brush my teeth, go brush my hair, wash my face. And once I get through those 3 things, if I still feel like, okay, I don't know what the next thing is to do, I want to get back on the couch, do 3 more things. And so I keep doing this trick where I do 3 more things that are normal, that kind of get the day going. Even if your day is not starting till 4 p.m. because you've been rotting on the couch, get up and do 3 things. Whether it's loading the dishwasher or taking a bath or feeding yourself, whatever it is, do 3 things and do 3 things until you feel that momentum starting to happen. The second thing I'd put on my list after like getting some momentum going is make sure that you clear the day and only be around people that you feel safe with. Don't go have coffee with a girlfriend that takes a lot of energy. If you're truly, truly in the depths of anxiety, don't go and do what is very, very difficult for you. Give yourself some grace and some peace if you can. I know not everybody has the luxury of like, I'm just canceling my day because I have anxiety. But if you truly are struggling with it, it can be very, very triggering to be around folks that don't have the energy or will say the wrong things like, come on, your life is great, snap out of it. Things like that can be very triggering. So avoiding those kinds of people, if you can possibly do that. Like, you don't have to take the phone call from your mother-in-law. The next thing I do is I focus on something that easily brings me joy. Okay, so that's going to be my 8-year-old. She's easily frustrates me, but she also easily brings me a lot of joy. So like the other day, having a ton of anxiety, I always have this big mug of tea in the morning, and she takes the little tea bag paper part that you use to like dip, and she makes it into like an origami star. It's like her little thing that she does right now. And watching her tiny little hands working and realizing like maybe this is a core memory for her, that like she's going to remember me drinking tea, and just sort of the simplicity of that, as like it sounds like a nothing thing, to be able to focus on something that is just simple and easy and joyful and makes me remember how lucky I am and how awesome this time is a great way to sort of refocus my brain and help it move out of that anxious state. The next thing I do, and this sounds kind of weird, but I try and do something kind for someone else. So anytime I'm really, really struggling with anxiety, I'll think of like, what's a little thing that I could do? And sometimes it's as simple as sending a text to a friend you haven't talked to for a while. Hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope you have a great Wednesday, or whatever. For me, last week, I said to Lincoln, hey, do you want to go out and cut some flowers for your teacher and take her some flowers? Of course she did. So we went out, and that took us 10 or 15 minutes of cutting a few roses. It's really easy around here. We have a lot of floral stuff around here. I save up old ribbons, so we wrapped a ribbon around a mason jar, and being able to take her to school and watch her run through the gates with her little thing for her teacher really brought me a lot of joy. And something about doing something kind for someone else reminds me that I'm not the only one with problems. I might not be the only one that has anxiety today. I might have just like brightened someone's day up that was struggling. And it makes me feel good that I'm able to do that. And then the last thing I'll tell you that I do when I have anxiety, and I've had years of it. So I've tried like a gratitude practice and journaling and box breathing. And there's all these things that for sure are great and can really work for you. Box breathing is breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and then holding for 4. When I'm anxious, it's like a disaster trying to get that to happen. So here's what I do. Box breathing. Up, hold for 4, down, hold for 4. Easy peasy. So that's what I do. That's what works for me. And just keep in mind that if you're someone that suffers with anxiety, you're not the only one. You're not the first person. It happens to a lot of people. It happens to a lot of high functioning people. And you can take some steps to bring yourself out of it. It certainly is important to have tools where you can comfort yourself because it's hard. So anyway, I hope these helped, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.